DeFi Slate team.
What's up, y'all? Real quick, if you like the DeFi Slate content on Twitter and YouTube and Substack, please give us a like and a subscribe on this video on YouTube. Join our channel, join the community. We'd really appreciate it. We're pumping this stuff out for y'all as much as we can, and we really enjoy the support and the community that we've built. Thank you very much and enjoy. What's up, y'all? We are here today on a lovely Wednesday morning here for me in the States, afternoon, evening for Lucas over there in Europe, and we are getting after it today to go over what is a multi-sig wallet, how to use it, what this safe can do for you, and just kind of why it's really important concept, why all these DeFi protocols use it for governance, what's going on here with the safe. So what we're going to do today is we are here with Lucas from Gnosis Safe. He is going to help us walk through how to set up a safe, questions. He's going to answer some questions that I have, and we're going to work together to create a safe and show y'all how to do it in the safest, cheapest, and most efficient way possible. I'm stoked. We're already using a safe here on DeFi Slate, but I'm really curious how to expand the capabilities kind of on what's possible in governance and with more people and signers and all sorts of stuff. So if you haven't used a safe yet, this video is for you. If you have one, but you want to see more detailed explanation, this video is also for you. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And how you doing, Lucas?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. A little worked up today. Things are all over the place. The markets are going down. I think Lindsay Lohan's tweeting about Bitcoin, so it's just mania.
Yeah, it's usually the top signal if celebrities start like shilling crypto. So I'm a little bit careful, but let's see.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So real quick, if you just want to break down kind of how you got to Gnosis, I would love to kind of hear about your background before we jump in.
Sure. I joined Gnosis about 2 years ago. I've joined as a product manager in the Gnosis Safe team. Gnosis Safe is basically the asset management solution that Gnosis is building. I've been in the team since 2 years, building up the product suite, and yeah, went through different waves. And definitely the past few months were crazy being at Gnosis and seeing basically how Gnosis Safe gained a ton of traction and is storing quite a lot of funds. Today it's we can see that over here. It's actually, this is now the number. It used to be 8 billion, now it's 15 billion US dollars, and like more than 2% of the entire Ether supply is also stored on Gnosis Safe. So it is quite an essential infrastructure component of Ethereum so far, and I'm just super excited working on this project.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a huge number, especially that percentage of ETH locked up. All right, so why would somebody want to create a safe? For those who are watching, why should I create a safe?
Yeah, so Gnosis Safe is definitely not the first thing you're doing when you're getting into crypto or DeFi. It is something that's important once you get to a certain amount of funds where you need a little bit more security than just having like your 100,000 US dollars on a MetaMask account. No one wants to do that. Even a ledger device, it's not the most secure option, to be honest. Like, you have a hardware wallet. If you lose the device, your funds are gone. But of course, you have your seed phrase backed up, but then there's just this one string of words which you hopefully have in a secure location. Then you need to think basically, how can I make sure no one gets access to the seed phrase? How can I make sure that I will always get access to the seed phrase? So there's all these considerations one needs to do when you have more than a couple of $100 in DeFi. And that's basically where Gnosis is coming into play, because we support multi-signature, which means that your account is not just controlled by this one seed phrase, but can be controlled by multiple seed phrases, which can be different people that own seed phrases. It can be yourselves having your seed phrases distributed across different ledger devices, different MetaMask accounts, whatever you want to use. You actually support a bunch of different signers that you can use this way. So it's like a way how we can make like a multi-factor account or a multi-person account and really level up your security. beyond what most people use.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the biggest pull for me. And yeah, I think for most users is the security aspect. Basically, being able to put, have, even if it's just you can have two computers with accounts on both computers and have them both be a signer for transactions. You can have best of 3, you can have best of 5, best of 9, right? It allows you to have a secure kind of ecosystem for your funds. I really enjoy it. And also what is helpful for us on DeFi site is it allows us to share a combined trust with the team members, knowing that we have funds that are between us both, that we both have to agree upon, or 2 of 3 to send and to use. And so it really kind of creates this kind of cooperative mindset, much less than there's just one bank account with like one sole owner or one wallet with one owner. Cool.
Yeah, and we also see like a bunch of different new use cases for collaborative fund management popping up. It's not just like venture funds where there's multiple people, it's DAOs, so completely decentralized organizations. It's just loose collectives who just manage some funds for a certain use case, but then the funds are getting distributed again. So it's interesting how this multi-signature scheme can actually be applied for individuals, multiple people, companies, like all kinds of use cases.
Yeah, most definitely. Cool.
So, I mean, you can see up here that we've got a bunch of projects using Gnosis Safe. It is mostly used by companies today because they require this multi-signature, but as mentioned, there's also just individuals using it if they have a lot of funds they need to store. Just recently, we had Bitfinex, so one of the major exchanges, starting to use Gnosis Safe, and they just basically have all their cold storage now on it. So we also see like major exchanges starting to use it. And basically, Gnosis Safe is this smart contract account, which on the contract level has all the logic, how the funds are getting accessed. And you can interact with it through our interfaces. So we provide a web interface. That's basically the most powerful way to interact with your Gnosis Safe account. The desktop app, it's basically the same as the web interface, but you can actually download it, meaning you reduce some risk factor. If you are interacting with a web application, there's always some risk involved. Also, websites can go down, but if you have an app downloaded, you can make sure it runs all the time. And we also have this mobile app, which we launched recently in October last year, and which is getting more powerful every day. Today, it's basically a way to track your assets on the go. You can also confirm transactions, so you can actually have one of the signer key be this mobile app, so you don't need to have your ledger device carried around all the time, or be dependent on your computer where you have maybe your MetaMask account. So that's also going to be interesting how the mobile app is going to get more powerful, where you can like do more interactions, do more, even like initiate transactions maybe at some point from mobile. But yeah, that's those 3 ways how we interact with Gnosis Safe. And yeah, I mean, I could just jump in and show you how we create a Gnosis Safe. It takes just a few seconds actually.
Yeah, real quick, just a few things, a few small comments on the teams that you have on the site that are using the Gnosis Safe. This is kind of like the way in which they are able to decentralize, and I kind of put quotes on that, their governance and their fund controls, and are kind of able to basically have it so they can't have a single point of failure and get their treasury hacked or get their their pools hacked. And also the team can also share the multi-sig or the council or the governance, like the multi-sig holders use it to initiate transactions based on proposals that have happened in the governance. Is that kind of like the right track there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's just the projects that have their own treasury, so their own company funds they want to manage. They use the Safe for that, but there's increasingly also these like decentralized organizations, such as Yearn, which are using Gnosis Safe to basically manage their treasuries. And what's going to be super interesting in the future is when currently it's basically like a few selected people from the community that are set as signers of these Gnosis Safe accounts. But in the future, it will also be possible to have basically all these projects have their governance token, and they can have some proposals going on there. And it will be possible that the safe is actually being controlled directly by these governance tokens. And we're super excited exploring those opportunities together with different DAOs. And yeah, I think we're going to see quite some interesting concepts there this year that are leveraging Gnosis Safe. And where basically then the Gnosis Safe account is basically becoming the avatar of this community where all the fund executions are being made on.
Right. Dope. All right. Yeah. Let's dive into creating a safe. And obviously, for those who are watching, this is completely non-custodial. This isn't as like, you know, you're going into like a Binance account or, you know, anything like that. This is like your wallet, you know, your safe. So walk us through kind of how we would set it up, what we need to get started.
Yeah. And maybe some disclaimers here. I mean, first of all, no investment advice, but also like self-custodial wallet means that you're not dependent on anyone, but also that you are responsible for everything you do. You are holding your keys. If you do something wrong with it, no one will be able to recover your funds. And yeah, with great power comes great responsibility, I would say. So yeah, we're here at basically the homepage of the Gnosis Safe web app. And the first thing you got to do is connect the wallet or connect the signer wallet, I must say. So we support a bunch of wallets that you can use as signer wallets. As mentioned, you can have like multiple ledger devices controlling a Gnosis Safe, or like your Portis wallet, or like whatever you'd like to use. I mean, everyone has their own preferences. Some prefer more convenient solutions such as Fortmatic. Some want the most secure options such as a hardware wallet. So we try to support as many as possible. So let's just go with Metamask, because for demos, that's usually the best option. So up here, you can see I connected my Metamask account. That's the 6C81. I'm on Rinkeby, by the way, just to speed up things a little bit. And here I can see the second step is now activated. I can create a safe, or I can load a safe if I've already created a safe. For example, on a different device, I have an Ethereum address, a safe address that I could just import here. But for the sake of the demo, I would create a new one. And now we're in this wizard. Just zooming in a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Keep going.
All right. So first things first is that I would have to give a name to my safe. Now we're very cautious on privacy with Gnosis Safe. So the name that you give here is actually never leaving your device. We store it in local storage in your browser. So I can say this is my secret Gnosis Safe. No one will ever see that name anyways. So I give the name, and now we're basically at this step where we define the initial logic, how this Gnosis Safe account is being controlled. So here it would just take my Gnosis, my MetaMask address as one of the signers. I could exchange this with a different one, but I would just keep that here. It also detects a name that I've already stored in my address book. We'll come to that later. So yeah, so I've got one signer here. I could add more if I want. I would just showcase this here by switching to a different MetaMask account up here and importing this as the second owner. This is second owner. Again, the name that I give here, no one will ever see that. And finally, I just say what threshold is being used, which basically means how many of these two signers will have to confirm every transaction that I want to do on this Gnosis Safe. So I can set up a safe with 5 people and say 3 out of those 5 will have to confirm any transaction. And basically there I can fine tune the security level that I want to have. Of course, the more confirmations needed is usually more secure, but this also means that if I have 5 signers, but then one of the 5 signers is losing their private key, their account, their ledger device, whatever, they would not be able to do any transactions on this safe anymore. So it's always better to not have like the max amount of signers required. So in this case, I would say 1 out of 2. if I have maybe 3 signers, I would maybe say 2 out of 3 would be a good option. And yeah, they're really, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so there's this isn't a financial advice, conversation here, but if we were to offer an explanation for how, like, the best way to set up a wallet, you would never basically do 2 of 2 or 3 of 3. It's always one less or some amount less in case one of the addresses involved is hacked, lost, the person goes off the grid or such. It basically gives you kind of a backup.
Yeah, definitely. So for example, for my own Gnosis safe, I'm not giving away too much here, but I use a 3 out of 6 configuration. So I have some keys that are very secure that I would even take some time to get to, and I've got some more convenient keys. And just the way I set it up, it means that I can always easily access my funds, but I don't need to compromise on my security, because it's actually pretty hard to hack all of those 3 keys that are required to do anything. But yeah, it's really up to anyone that creates a safe to take the time and think about what for their personal situation, what would be the best option.
So if we were trying to create a safe with me, you, Robbie, and 2 other dudes or 2 other girls, what we would need is we would need their name and their address. So to get this started, we'd say, hey, what Ethereum address do you want associated with the safe? Just text it to me. I'll put it in the safe, and I'll add you as another owner. So each person that you want in the safe, they're required to give their own Ethereum address, and then as the safe owner, whoever would choose to create the safe, whether it's you and all your addresses or it's you and other people, you would just then do what we just did, input their name and their address, and then, as you said, set the transaction to require always 1 or 2 less of the total owners based off how you guys have agreed, whether it's you and others or you and yourself, as you explained. Pretty straightforward, super easy UI interface. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe one last thing to add. We also support ENS names. So I put in here safe.test, and it would just resolve to the right address. So if you're using ENS, that's maybe easier to than like copy pasting those addresses. But yeah, let's go ahead and create this safe. So here in the last step, we just have another review where I can see, okay, I got a safe that has 2 safe owners. That's Andrew and the second owner. It's controlled, like the threshold is 1 out of 2. So actually either Andrew or the second owner could do any transactions. If I would add a third owner and up the threshold to 2, then 2 out of those 3 would have to sign. But yeah, then it's just about like deploying the actual account, because what we do now here is actually deploying a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain, because because of that you will have to pay some transaction fees. So you make sure to have some Ether in your signer wallet, because it's a completely trustless and open source solution. We leave this up to the user to do the contract deployment, and it's also like a security guarantee that it's not like an external company creating this account. It's actually you yourself by signing this transaction.
Boom.
Right. So we're here in the main interface. On the left, you see the different sections. So we've got assets. This means here you will see all the assets that you will send to the account. So far, I don't have any assets on it. We also support collectibles. I also don't have any NFTs here, but if I would be like an NFT curator, or I collect some stuff, then I could also send them to the safe, and they would be displayed here with some nice images. Yeah, that's the assets. Then the transaction list. Here I just see any pending or past transactions. We're currently reworking this entire list, and it's going to be quite some exciting new features in there. So look forward for that. But so far it's like I can see I just made 1 transaction here that's actually creating the safe. But as we will go along and make new transactions, that will just pop up here. And this is also the place where would come as an additional signer, if I have a threshold that's bigger than 1, to basically give my confirmation for a certain transaction. Then in that case, there will be a transaction here which says pending. I could go in and there's going to be a confirm button, and I would just confirm this way.
So every person who is whose address is associated with the safe, when they come to gnosissafe.io and they connect their wallet, they would see the same exact UI as the other person. You know,
yeah. I mean, right now I'm connected with this address.
Yeah.
If I haven't loaded the safe yet, I can maybe go back. I would have to go through this wizard here because I need to add the safe first of all.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I just have it in my list here where I've got like a ton of test accounts actually, and they would be able to just access it that way.
Cool.
And yeah,
if you're a signer of a safe and say I made it and I got your Ethereum address from you and I made it, what I have to do is I have to tell you the safe name, and I have to copy and paste the Ethereum address up in that top left corner of the safe, give that to you, so that way that you can go in, load an existing safe as you just showed us, and then you would be granted access. And then from there, it's going to be saved in your list. But as a signer who didn't create the safe, you have to go with the address of the safe, which would be provided to you by the person who did create it, and then load it up one time. And then from there on out, you have it.
Exactly.
Cool. I think you were on transactions or address books or apps or something.
Yeah, address book. This is now not really pretty because I have done too many demos, but here is the place where I could add any Ethereum addresses which I don't want to be displayed in this not really readable format here of like cryptic Ethereum addresses, but I actually want to give them like real names.
Yeah.
And I could just go ahead, give a name, paste an address I want to have in the address book, and just add it that way, and then it will just use this name anywhere in the interface. And yeah, maybe the most exciting part is this apps tab, because here I mean, one thing is just storing your assets securely, but of course nowadays with like a ton of like DeFi opportunities, we will actually want to put them to work. So we provide different ways for that, but like the main way I would recommend is these apps. These apps are built by the community, by the actual protocol teams. This is here on Rickaby, so there's a few like apps that aren't really live yet. But if we go to mainnet over here, you can see basically the selection we have today. So you have some options to basically trade with your assets with the 1inch exchange, Zapper exchange, yeah, like a bunch of exchanges we have, but also other DeFi opportunities such as staking SNX tokens, yeah, putting your funds into pools with Urn Vaults, so on, and Mushroom Finance, and stream your money. So Sablier, for example, allows you to stream your money by the second. So you basically send some money to someone else, but it's not being sent right away, but actually over a certain period of time, like every second, just a tiny bit of your assets is getting transferred over. So that's quite an interesting thing. And
so, you know, is it good for, you know, a safety and security aspect, but it's also, you know, it's also used, you're able to use it for, you know, all sorts of apps and everything like that. Let's hop back onto the onto testnet.
Yeah, we don't want to spend those transaction fees, man.
Big Gnosis safe wallet man over here flexing on us on mainnet. Nice. Okay, cool. So now we're in settings. So yeah, you can change the name here.
Yep. So nice. This name is just displayed up here. Again, it's not shared with anyone else. Else in the settings, we've got the owners, which you can inspect here. You can actually change your owner setup after you set up your safe. So maybe some people are familiar with how multisigs work on Bitcoin. There, what you define in the beginning is basically what you're left with for the entirety of the existence of this safe, of this multisig. But here with Gnosis Safe, I could just add a new owner.
Yep.
let's do this save.test DNS name and just say, now I've got 3 owners, and 2 out of these 3 owners need to confirm any transaction.
Yeah.
And maybe let's just do that. This will mean I would have to make an on-chain transaction, so I would have to confirm on my Steiner wallet, spend some gas, which unfortunately is quite high right now. But after I've done that, I see here in my transaction list, I've got a new transaction which is modifying the settings. And once it's through, it would mean that we have an additional owner that's controlling the safe. And yeah, you can see here now we've got new owner, which is also part of this confirming list. Yeah.
And so, and in this screen right here, this is also what you guys will see when you try to send a transaction. Like if you try to send some ETH out of your safe, or if you try to, you know, use Aave or use a platform, you'll see this exact thing as well. And this is kind of how you're able to confirm or, you know, accept or reject the transaction. So maybe we can just do a quick little test, if you will. Yeah, so we'll get some ETH in there, and then we'll try to send some out. And then, yeah, we can see, because that's kind of like the last most important part. Is like, okay, how does the actual confirmations work? Yeah. I think you were still in settings, though, while we wait for that ETH to come. It might just be there already, though, because we're on test.
Yeah, so the ETH should be sent out with MetaMask. So it might take some time until it's actually confirmed on the blockchain. But afterwards, we would see here also an incoming transaction.
There it is.
Here we got this one Rinkeby ETH that I sent. We also support fiat values. So we've got some oracles in place, making sure that you actually know how much your assets are worth. So in this case, Ether price is at a quite nice price right now. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
So here you also see basically that we display any incoming transactions that are coming. So I see I got from my MetaMask account this blue little circle. I got this 1 Ether transfer.
Yeah. All right. So let's try to send one out and then kind of show how we have to accept 2 out of 3 now.
Yeah. Do you have a Rinkeby address that you could share? Or I could just use any random.
Yeah. I mean, you have yours both.
Yeah. So here we can send some funds. I've actually got some random addresses I could use.
Oh, plenty.
So let's just say I'm a malicious owner now. One of those three guys wants to basically empty out the Gnosis safe.
Yeah.
And that's going to be this Andrew guy. And he sends Ether, and he just sends everything that's on the safe. So we've got this review screen here. If I'm a pro, I could go ahead and set the transaction nonce, the gas limit, and so on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't even have to worry. Just press submit. And yeah, I need to sign this transaction. This is not yet actually executing any transaction because we have set in the settings. We actually have a 2 out of 3 threshold. So any transaction that gets out actually needs to be confirmed by 2 people. You can see that here. There's a new transaction that sends out 1 Ether to Andrew. Andrew was nice enough to already confirm that. But the other 2 owners, yeah, might not be as happy about this. So let me just change quickly to one of the other owners. This one.
Yep.
Can connect again with MetaMask. And yeah, we definitely need to clean up these notifications up here. But now I'm logged in as this second owner, the green one here. And so I've got 2 options now. I can either confirm or reject this transaction. Obviously, I don't want that Andrew is running away with all my funds. So I'm going to reject. And because I'm connected now with this Andrew account, I should be prompted in a bit to sign this transaction.
Yeah. So even if you reject here, the third person would also have to reject or accept to make the final move. So yeah. So if you did want to confirm this, since it's now 2 out of 3 Andrew and you, it would go through. But if you reject here, obviously it's up to the last person. And if it's really a malicious act, they would reject as well. Or if they're conspiring against you and you're on the way out, then maybe you're on the way out. But yeah, so that's dope. And I mean, that is like that little explanation right there, the last 2 minutes is like on the most narrow scale, on this broad idea of a multi-sig, that's it. Is having the ability to have basically people or you in different accounts that you trust, basically having to sign this transaction and say, yes, I approve of this, and I'm basically two-factor authentication that I am approving of this. And that is basically where the huge aspect of security comes in. And I mean, that's what makes the safe extremely attractive.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you interact with DeFi and there's a lot of money on the line, you just want to have this trust that comes with having multiple people look at a certain transaction. And yeah, even if it's not just even if you trust other people, it's still good to actually have them actively confirm anything you do with some shared funds that you do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Dope. Okay, well, what do we miss?
Maybe just one thing. Like you see I showed like the bunch of apps that we support for DeFi stuff.
Yeah.
But we actually support pretty much everything that's out there, and that's due to this Wallet Connect app here. And for those that are not familiar with Wallet Connect, that's basically a protocol that supports the communication between a wallet and the dApp. So most dApps, such as Uniswap, if you're connecting a wallet up here, they have this Wallet Connect option. And what this would do is that it shows this QR code, and you can basically copy paste this QR code in here. So with most dApps, you actually have a designated button down here that just does that, and you can connect this way to any dApp that's not like natively supported through these what we call safe apps. So it will take some time until all DeFi applications actually have one of these safe apps, but in the meantime, you still have this way for interacting with the long tail of there's so much coming up right now in DeFi, so we have this way to do everything while still having
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be within the UI of Gnosis space that you can go out and do it on your own, but have the wallet that's connected to everything is your wallet connect through safe. It's dope. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And
that makes me
want
to even use any other wallets and just use a MetaMask connected to the safe and then use Wallet Connect.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, what's also, in my opinion, quite cool with Gnosis Safe is that we provide quite some resources to, like, there's a lot of concerns when you do DeFi, and new people might have a lot of questions. So we actually have this help center linked down there, where we try to provide as much information as possible to users, starting with Gnosis Safe and doing DeFi. And if you still have any questions, you can just click down here on this bubble, and you can actually get in touch with us right away and just chat with us and ask us your questions if you're unsure about something. So that definitely helps. Making sure you
are active in the Discord as well.
Sorry?
You guys are active in the Discord as well.
For sure. We've got, if you just type in chat.gnosis.io, you will get directly to our Discord, where we're also pretty active.
Cool. Well, thanks, Lucas. This is absolutely awesome. I mean, I've already got a safe, but I've learned more than enough. I've got some changes to make specifically on my signing, the way I set that up. And the Wallet Connect was amazing for me and for what I've seen. And then for those who have never seen Safe and never used it, I mean, great walkthrough. And guys, go get out there and create your own safe, with your family, with your friends, with yourself through different wallets. Try it out. It's super secure, it's super solid, and you can then engage with DeFi. Maybe wait till gas is a little cheaper. I'm sure Gnosis has some plans to get onto layer 2, etc. eventually. But as of right now, it looks great. Give it give it a shot if you run a business or if you just want to manage your funds in a more secure way. As always, there are smart contract risks that come with using these platforms. Unfortunately, there is a support team with Gnosis and with DeFi Slate. We're here to help, but in the event that anything happens, we are not responsible for your funds, as nobody who's watching this is responsible for my safe, except for me and the signers who are there. So just keep that in mind, guys. Absolutely brilliant. We love this product. We use it. We're excited, and thank you so much for the walkthrough, Lucas. And I'm really looking forward to getting this out.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And stay safe out there. DeFi is a risky place, so be careful.
That's right. I'm gonna go play some golf. Get after it.
Enjoy.
All right. Peace out.